So, Chris Cuomo goes on an epic rant on Friday on CNN about gun violence and police reform. And I'm going to react to that video and tell you what I think about it and where Mr. Cuomo is wrong. Welcome to Hide and Seek Media. Hey guys, if this is your first time to the channel, here at Hide and Seek Media, basically we just do a vlog on current stories in the news, current events, sports, politics, pretty much just anything that strikes my fancy as entertaining or newsworthy. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you get notified anytime I put down a new video. Make sure to leave a comment at the end of this video. Let me know what you think. And if you like this video, make sure to hit that like button and the share button so we get my content out there. So let's get into Mr. Cuomo. Alright, so on Friday, Mr. Cuomo goes on this epic rant on CNN on his show. And all he's doing is just ranting about gun violence and police reform, right? But some of the things he says are epically stupid. I mean, epically stupid. And so we're going to get into all that, and we're going to break down the video. We're going to watch the video here. So if you haven't seen this already, buckle up, because it's going to be an interesting one.
Floyd, Dante Wright. I wonder if you'll remember their names 6 months from today, because they'll be replaced by so many others. You're here, people. What are you going to do when you see these shootings? You know what you're going to do. That George Floyd. Did you hear about him? That Dante Wright. Did you hear about him? That 13-year-old Adam. You know he was a gangbanger. Why do that? Because you want to make the problem them. Takes the onus off the idea that you're wrong about policing not needing to change.
So, 35 seconds in, and Mr. Cuomo says the first of many stupid things he says in this rant. Okay? One, he's talking about why people are focusing on the fact that these guys were criminals. Okay? And we're not focusing on how the police handled them. Well, I got news for you, Mr. Cuomo. Alright? And I mean, it's pretty common sense. So you might want to sit down for this. Okay? Hang on to your seats. If you don't want to, have any involvement with the police officers, now hold on, this may shock you. Don't break the law.
Stop breaking the law, asshole!
Whoa. Whoa, Carl, how can you suggest something so radical and crazy? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't break the law? Seems like a pretty adequate way to not get involved in any dispute, argument, scuffle, or anything with police officers. If you are a law-abiding citizen, right, going about his business, then you should have no issues with police officers. And if they give you an issue, you take their name, their badge number, and you report them. And if nothing happens, you follow up. And if nothing happens, call the press. Get on YouTube. Make a video. It's simple. Weed out the bad cops. But don't blame every cop for one or two bad cops' mistakes. Right? And that's what he's doing here. He says, oh, you want to talk about them being criminals because you want to take the onus off of the fact that we need to reform policing in this country. I will agree. There needs to be some reform when it comes to policing. Not a lot, some. Mostly about how much training the police officers get and what kind of training they get. But let's not be so naive as to suggest that these people that you've named off in your video were anything other than criminals. Okay? Because that's exactly what they were doing. That's why they were interacting with the police, because they were criminals. So, bottom line, you don't want to have if you don't want to have any interactions with the police, don't break the law. Whoa. Let's listen to what some more stupid shit he's got to say.
Forget that police are trained to deal with non-compliance with force that is not lethal. Hey, comply or die. Yeah, I mean.
They did that with George Floyd. Non-lethal force was used. And as a matter of fact, Derek Chauvin used less force than he was allowed to use. So there goes that narrative. Whoo!
And you know what the answer is? You really do. You don't like it. I don't like it. It scares me. Shootings, gun laws, access to weapons. Oh, I know when they'll change. Your kids start getting killed. White people's kids start getting killed. Smoking that doobie that's actually legal probably in your state now, but they don't know what it was. And then the kid runs and it pop.
He said, when your kids start getting killed, when white people's kids start getting killed, that's when gun laws will change in this country. And that's when, things will get better. Well, Mr. Cuomo, maybe you ought to do some research. You work at a huge network here, right? You probably have 10 staffers that work for you that could have done research that shows that there are just as many, if not more, unarmed white people who are shot by police officers every year than there are people of color. So let's stop with that bull crap narrative. Let's stop with all of that crap right now. Okay, let's just dispense with all of the media myth crap. Okay? It doesn't happen all the time. It's very rare. And when you look at the amount of police interactions that the cops have with civilians every year, we're talking millions of interactions with civilians. The numbers have always been low. Gun violence happens with criminals. And there are already laws on the books for these criminals. But what happens? You got prosecutors, and DAs that decide, we're not going to press charges. We're just going to let them go because we believe in their agenda and their ideology. So because we believe the same things, we can let them go and let them go back out on the streets and do more terrible shit. All right? I mean, come on, people. Open your eyes. All right? What this guy is spewing is complete and utter stupidity. Just plain stupidity. But let's listen to some more, okay? I feel like killing some more brain cells. Follow along.
Cop was justified. Why'd you run? Oh, he had a baseball game tonight. Oh, the white kid. Oh, big family. That house over there.
Okay, so again, white family, white kid, big family, big house over there, right? You notice he's not talking about average, everyday white people, right? Like you and me, who live, paycheck to paycheck, barely making ends meet, trying to get by. He's not talking about us, okay? He's talking about rich white people like him, right? Because it happens to poor white people all the time, right? It doesn't happen to rich white people all the time. So that's who he's talking about. He's not talking about the average everyday Joe who lives like you and me. He's talking about rich white people who live in gated communities and have armed security and have all of it. That's who he's talking about. He ain't talking about regular white people. He's talking about rich white people.
What is going on with these police? Oh, what? Maybe we shouldn't even have police. That kind of mania, that kind of madness, that'll be you. That'll be the majority. Because it's your people. See? Now, black people start getting all guns, forming militias, protect themselves. Can't trust the deep state. Whoo-hoo. You'll see a wave of change in access and accountability.
Again, more stupidity from Chris Cuomo. Does he not understand that there are black militias in this country already? We haven't changed any gun laws. One of the largest militias in the country is all black. But we haven't changed any gun laws because of them. Because we don't care. As long as you're law-abiding citizens, we don't care if you own guns. Don't break the law. Plain and simple.
We saw it in the 60s. That's when it changes. Because that's when it's you. So my job is to show you in them. Because they're but for the grace. And the grace is forgiveness that none of us deserve for the blessings that we're wasting in this country. That is our reality. And the reality is clear, and the state of play is unchanging. And that is not a recipe for any type of longevity. And what do we do here? What do I do here? I get lost in the next name, the next iteration. The new in news dominates because you get bored. I've heard enough. I cared about George Floyd. It was wrong. But I've had it with the trials too long. Just let me know when they have a verdict. We pretend that we're not just seeing the same lying and lack of leading and bleeding and death and pain. New names, new faces, new places. Same problems. You know it, I know it.
Same problems. He's right. But let's talk about where those problems occur. Okay? Those problems occur in places like Chicago. Okay? That's where those problems occur. Right? And let's just use Chicago for an example. I know everyone's going to say, oh, Carl, how dare you use Chicago, right? Well, I'm going to use Chicago, right? Because they have some of the strictest gun laws in the country. So why does Chicago have so much gun violence? Well, I'll tell you. It's because they made guns illegal. That's right. I know, it's a shock, right? It's a shock. But when you make something illegal, criminals realize that they can make money off of that and turn around and sell that illegal product at a huge markup because people still want it. And when people still want it, they're willing to pay double and triple the price because they've got to have it. All right? So, when regular, ordinary citizens want to buy a gun, but they can't do it in Chicago because it's illegal, well, they turn to the criminals. And they do, in a sense, become a criminal themselves by buying an illegal firearm. Okay? And so what are they doing? They're contributing to the criminality of the illegal guns by buying them. And then in turn putting their money in the hands of criminals who are then turning around and buying more guns, more ammunition, more drugs, more whatever, and continuing the crime in their city. All because you made guns illegal. If you made guns legal, I'm pretty sure your crime rate would go down. People are more hard-pressed to carjack somebody when they don't know if they're going to have a gun in their car or not. Right? People are more hard-pressed to armed robbery, right? Or mugging somebody, or assault, if they are afraid that person may be carrying a firearm, right? It's a very good deterrent for criminals like that who prey upon the weak. When you don't know if somebody has a firearm or not, why take the chance, right? Why would a criminal take the chance of being shot or being hurt and then being arrested for, robbing somebody, right? If he doesn't know if they have a gun or not. See? Smart. But you guys want to make them illegal. And when you make things illegal, it just becomes more prevalent. Right? War on drugs is a good example of that. But let's get back to Mr. Cuomo and his stupidity.
I know that you know. The testing, the voting, the vaccines, the dying, the shooting, the drugs, the suicide, the teaching, the testing of education, all of it. It all hits the poor and the poor of color worst, and we know it. And we've always known it. I remember my father preaching about this when my teeth were 2 inches apart.
So his father was preaching about it. He remembers his father preaching about it when he was running for office and whatever else. When his teeth were this far apart. And you know what? If that's the case, then how come you are sitting up there in your ivory frickin' tower spewing all this bullshit. Okay? When you could easily, you make millions of dollars a year spouting crap on TV. When you could easily live off of $250,000. That's more than most Americans make in a year. You're telling me you can't live off that and the rest of your money could go towards helping the homeless, helping veterans, helping the mentally ill, helping people in this country, help feeding, children who are going hungry every day? You make millions of dollars a year, but I bet you live in a nice $1 million house in a gated community, don't you? You don't live in the streets with everybody else. You don't even live in a urban, suburban neighborhood, okay? You live in a gated community with other millionaires. I don't want to hear it, okay? Stop preaching from your ivory tower. And until you get down in the muck with the rest of them, I don't want to hear crap from you. Because everything you say is just hyperbole. It's just a load of crap. It is all standing on a soapbox saying crap that you don't mean. Because if you meant it, you'd live like the rest of Americans and put your money where your mouth is. But you don't. Right? You don't. So, to me, you're nothing more than a hypocrite. So you can keep spouting all your crap. But in the end, nobody cares. Here's some more.
When I was a fat kid waiting to eat on the steps of my house while he was talking to people that he was asking to vote for him in one of the elections that he lost, like 5, 6 in a row. Us and them, us and them. There's never a solution that doesn't begin with we. We the people, they started it. Every copy you see of the document blows those letters up. Why? Because that's all we have is the interconnectedness and the interdependence. If you give up on one another, that's it.
See, here we go again. There's never a solution. It starts with we. That's because you don't want to hear from we, the people. You want to hear from your little bubble. And anything that we, the people, say, you don't want to hear. We're all stupid, right? We're all just redneck deplorables who voted. We're all just domestic terrorists, right? Who voted for Donald Trump. We don't know what we're talking about. We're stupid, right? Why listen to us? Don't talk to me with your contempt and say, oh, we have to come together. Man, shut up. Because you guys aren't doing anything to bring we together. If you give up on one another, that's it. But yet, you guys gave up on us, right? We voted for Donald Trump, so you guys, we can no longer even deal with you. We can't even talk to you. You're a Trump supporter. Oh my God. You voted for Donald Trump? We can't even listen to anything you have to say. It's absurd and outlandish that you would even speak to us. Oh my God.
And it doesn't matter how impressive or resonant or you feel the words to be, because all you have is prayer. All you have is hope that at some point something makes some iteration or generation of us realize that the only solution is not less, but more. More people, more enabled to do more with talent, to make more pie for all of us. That is the only way that this country ever approaches what she is supposed to be. And the only question for us is, what will it take to get there? And
all right, I'm done listening to this schmuck. All right, he obviously is a clown. All right, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He has. I really. It hurts my brain to even try to think about where this guy is coming from, or how he came to his logic. It literally hurts my brain to try to think in that manner, okay? Because there's no rationale to it, right? There's no reality to it. It is a fantasy world that they've drawn up, that the media has blasted you with over and over and over again, that does not exist. This world where cops are hunting down people of color in the streets does not exist. You know what cops are hunting down in the streets? Criminals. So if you don't want to be hunted down by a cop, don't do criminal shit. It's as simple as that. Simple. All right? it is a disaster. All right, it is an utter disaster what's going on in our government right now. So if you're not paying attention, you should be. And the best place to pay attention is here at Hide and Seek Media. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified anytime I drop a new video. Smash that like button. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the video and what your opinions are on the topic. And I will catch y'all later.